Hey, good morning. It is YouTube Sunday and you are with Whole and Complete You. So today's topic I think is something that everybody's going to be able to resonate with in one way or another. It started off actually as one thing. So I had decided that we were going to talk about learning to say no, the importance of learning to say no. That is something that I personally have struggled with my whole life, and I thought that it's something that's, it is discussed, but I feel like sometimes it's good to really break it down and to sit and think about how we can say no in our lives a little more in the right scenarios. Then my topic got led in a different direction because I had a conversation with a close friend of mine, and we were actually talking about, the power of saying no, and I felt like he was saying yes to people even though he wanted to say no. He was expressing that to me. So I said, remember, it's really important to say no when you feel like you want to say no. If that's what your heart is telling you and that's where you're feeling guided to, you should really say no. And his response to me blew my mind and reminded me of the opposite of all of that, and that is learning to say yes. So his response was, don't worry about it. I'm I'm getting so good at saying no that all I do is sit in my bed anymore. And it kind of broke my heart a little because that's not what I want to see for someone that I care about. But it also brought me to opening this discussion into talking about saying yes, the importance of saying yes. So today we're going to talk about not only learning how to say no, but we're also going to talk about learning how to say yes. So the first word we're going to talk about, obviously, is the word no. So this word enters our vocabulary at a very young age. In our toddler stage, we start speaking the word no and saying, no, you've heard it in the toddler stage, right? And we're looking at declaring our independence. We're now seeing ourselves as a separate being from our mother. And we're being told that no is a bad word. We're told, stop saying the word no. And it's, as a parent, it's very tough to hear your young child saying no all the time. And we do it out of the goodness out of our heart. We're not doing it to be cruel or mean to them. But, we're in their faces and we're saying, no, you need to finish the rest of your plate. Be a good girl and go kiss Aunt Susie before she leaves. Or, be nice to Bobby, go and play with Bobby. But in turn, when our child is saying no, we are giving them the message because we're persisting that they must do what we've asked them to do, that it is a bad thing. And that is exactly when the word no becomes a bad thing, becomes the message that it's not okay to say no, even though you want to be able to say no. Then we move along and we enter into our teenage years, that year of peer pressure and a lot of influences that could be negative. Many of them are in our high school years because we're all experimenting and we're really trying to figure out who we are as people. So you may be striving to fit in, to feel like you belong somewhere. It could be that you're trying to be the best athlete or trying to be the best academic. So you may be saying yes when you mean no to things like trying alcohol and drugs and cigarettes. It could be, from the athletic perspective, you may be signing up for every sport there is because you have to be the best athlete ever. Or from the academic perspective, you may be saying no to all the social side of things and the things that children should be, participating at this time in their life, and saying yes to only academics. Then, before you know it, you've become a seasoned adult who really doesn't know how to say no. You are saying yes to everything. The reason that you're doing it is obviously a lot different. You may be trying to be the best parent, the best partner, the best employee. Your motivation behind it has changed, but your ability to say no when you really mean no is still lost within there, and it's perfected so much so that you don't actually know how to say no to people. So here in the midst of all this, you've gotten buried and you've become so overwhelmed. You have so many things. There is literally not enough of you to go around and to say yes and accomplish all these things, to the things that you have said yes to. And now you are stressed, and that's where we fit in this topic here. So now we found ourselves in this rut, and we need to learn how to say no. We need to stop saying yes when that gut feeling is telling us to say no. We need to take back our control and our self-respect. It is a form of self-respect. When you are saying yes to everything, you aren't respecting and honoring yourself. And obviously that's not a good thing. That's something we want to try to avoid, because in order to give the best of yourself to the world, you have to be at your best. You have to be feeling your best, and that includes practicing self-care. I am absolutely 100% guilty of having trouble saying no. It's something that I can admit that I am still dealing with daily, but the positive side to this is that I am learning to say no, that I am able to say no to situations. I am trying to, I guess I call it like triaging. You're deciding what things fit into my life today and what makes sense for me to fit in. If I have to learn to say no to somebody, I am, gaining all the strength it takes inside, and I'm listening to my gut. Am I saying no to all of the things that I mean to say no to? Definitely not. But that's a daily practice that everybody has to take part in. That is one of my weaknesses, and that's something that I'm working on. One of the hardest things that I think people struggle with when they're learning to say no is understanding it from the point of view that you are actually bringing balance into your life. You are obviously learning to follow your gut instincts, but what it is not is selfish. It is not selfish to learn how to say no, because that's what feels right in your gut. It's really important to point out that it's not that you're not giving back, and I'm not saying or promoting not to give back to the world and not to give yourself to other people, but it's important for you to understand that it's not giving so much of yourself that there's literally nothing left to give. If you practice self-care and you take care of yourself, in turn what's going to happen is you have so much more to give back to people from a whole and complete self of yourself. You are going to have much more of you to give to other people when you learn to say no to the things that aren't helping you to become the best person possible. There is only one of you, and there is a whole world of things that you could be saying yes to, and you get to decide what you're going to say yes to and what you're going to say no to, and you should be doing it with confidence and pride, because you know that you're doing it the best thing for yourself. All of your friends and family, they're all still going to love you. They're going to respect that you said no because you were doing what was best for yourself. So I thought I'd do a little side note about gut instincts. So our pineal gland, which is within our brain, it's part of the endocrine system. So it is responsible for our third eye, I guess you could say, and helping us to trust our gut instincts. It's what brings it open. Now, there are things that can affect this pineal gland, which in turn is going to affect your gut instinct. So if you are filling your body with processed foods and fluoride, or which would come in forms of your toothpaste, it might be in your water, really I suggest avoiding fluoride like the plague. It actually calcifies your pineal gland, and that is definitely bad news for your gut instinct, among a whole bunch of other things, obviously. So the opposite of that would be if we are filling our body with whole foods that are, as close to nature as possible, and we are filling our bodies with really good quality water that is alkaline. As a result, you get a pineal gland that is working at its optimal state, and your gut instinct is going to be bang on. So if you are finding that your gut instinct maybe isn't doing you many favors, maybe it's time that you look at your diet and what you're intaking. And as you change your diet, you're going to find that your gut instinct is working much better. It's much more reliable, It helps with your intuition. And gut instinct, it's that feeling that you get in your gut. Sometimes mine is so strong when I feel a gut feeling or the intuition that I actually have physical symptoms when I'm around people. Certain people can make me feel nauseous, anxious. I feel, I feel like I'm all of a sudden I'm sick. And that's because my pineal gland is really, really pure and blown wide open because I eat so close to nature. I don't have fluoride, and I eat very carefully, as natural whole foods as possible. So remember, if you find that you're meeting resistance and your gut instinct perhaps isn't so reliable, take a closer look at your diet. So a good way to know if it is your gut instinct talking to you is to go with the very, very first thing that comes to your mind when someone asks you a question or an idea is planted into your head, and it's obviously like a yes or no question. So let's say, for example, someone asks you to go to the movies. So, would you like to go to the movies with me tonight? What is the very first thing you think? If the first thing you said in your head was no, and then you in turn are louder saying, yes, sure, I'd love to go to the movies, then you're not following your gut instinct. That's how to tell if you are truly following your gut instinct. It is that very, very, very first thing that comes to your head. You shouldn't have to convince yourself to say yes to something, because that would be following your, not following your gut instinct. If you are convincing yourself of the answer other than no, then you need to take a look closer and say, okay, this is something I can learn from. So when so-and-so asked me to go to the movies, I said no in my head, but then I turned around and I said, okay, sure, I'll do it. Okay, I can put the kids to bed early. I'll just, be a little bit more tired tomorrow because I'm going to be staying up late. If your first answer was no in your head, you now know that next time you feel that, you can say, you know what, Joanne, I'm actually a little busy tonight. I'm going to say no, but let's do it another time. If, of course, that's what you would like to do. If you don't want to see this person, please continue to listen to your gut and say no. So looking on the complete opposite side of the spectrum is the word yes. This is not the yes that you're replacing, as we were talking about on the other side, with no. This is the yes that is good for you. This is the yes that you haven't really had to convince yourself of. You haven't let your ego get in the way of it. Our ego is responsible for taking control and wanting to be in power of everything. So it's not that. It is not your ego getting in the way. This is the yes that is going to push you that little bit further, give you the momentum to get motion moving in your life. If you want to make changes in your life and you're not doing anything to change the pattern in your life, then nothing is going to change for your life. If things remain the same, they stay the same. If things remain the same and you're expecting a different outcome, well, unfortunately, you're going to be stuck with things the same. So if you want to make a change in your life and you want to see things move forward, you want to see a different reality that's created for you, this is the yes for you. This is the yes that is going to get you moving. What are you going to say yes to today? What are you going to do to change that momentum in your life? What is it going to take for you to turn your no's that are blocking you into the yeses that get you moving forward, get you moving in the direction of change with the energy flow and the frequency of things that are going to be drawn back into your life? When you start saying yes to things in your life that are good for you, then you're going to start to see some change in your life. You're going to start to see opportunities and people and experiences enter into your life that are going to be on the same vibrational frequency as the thing that you are saying yes to, and it's just going to keep coming into your life and piling in. So what is it that you can say yes to today? So thinking of the way I look at it is you think of it as small changes. So this isn't about all of a sudden one day waking up and saying, I'm going to say yes to everything, because you're probably going to feel a little overwhelmed. At least I would. So it's about starting with the small things. So when you wake up, you go through the same routine. You have the same thing you do every day. What on that morning can you do that's a little bit different? Can you get up and decide, you know what, today I'm going to take a different route to work? Can it be, when you go to the grocery store, today instead of going through and just putting your groceries through and say, thank you so much, have a lovely day, today is the day I'm going to say yes and interact with a person. So I'm going to ask the cashier how she's doing. I'm going to ask her, if she's having a good day. Is she excited about anything that's happening after work? And regardless of what her response is, I'm going to say in my head that, hey, I just put myself out there. I said yes to being more social today. This is good news. Maybe you do something different and you say yes to a different hairdo. You say yes to something different that you're going to wear. Yes to something different that you're going to purchase in the store. Yes to an invitation from a friend that you've turned down over and over. Yes to maybe joining a new yoga studio. Or maybe if you like sports, you're going to sign up for a sport. If you are a person that is not getting out there enough, maybe you go and get some tickets to a ball game. What is it that you are going to say yes to today? So in honor of our topic today, that's going to bring us to the daily challenge. So my challenge for you today is to think of one thing that you can say no to today, and to think of one thing that you can say yes to today. Remember, it's about listening to your gut instinct. This isn't just saying yes or no for the hay of it, or that you've had to convince yourself. You've fully thought about this and said, how is this going to benefit me? I listened, at first said yes or no. That's what I'm going with. It's stepping outside your comfort zone, and obviously remaining healthy during all of this, and to honor your soul journey. This is about you saying yes to one thing or saying no to one thing starts the change in your journey. It starts the change in you. It takes just one thing. That's it. One thing. I'd love to actually hear about some of the things that you guys are going to be saying yes or no to, because I think it's really inspirational to hear from other people, what they're doing in their lives as well to become their greatest versions, so that they may live their greatest lives. That was my phone in the background that just made that sound. Sorry about that. And then another part to go along with that you're welcome to share or you're welcome to keep it to yourself, is observing how you felt before, observing how you felt during, and then observing how you felt after. So not after just from, okay, now I've said no to something I would regularly say yes to, but the part where you feel afterwards, after that time has come through. If you've said yes to something, and let's say it was to go to this yoga studio that we were talking about earlier as an example, you've now gone to this yoga studio, you've come home. Observe, analyze, show some gratitude to yourself, appreciate yourself. Give yourself, the honor of saying, hey, I did something for myself today. I am doing things to make a change in my life, and I am an amazing person. All right, as promised, I will always participate in the daily challenges as well. So I'm going to start with what I am saying no to. And I've actually already said the no for today. Yesterday, but it counts for today because it's from today. So this one is for me. It was about saying no. I had an invitation to go to an outing. The very first thing that came to my gut was no. And then my ego and my mind got in the way, and I was playing all these different scenarios in my head. I was saying, okay, I should say no because I've got a lot of things to get done. I have to purchase all these things and get the shopping done. I have a birthday party for my little ones that I'm preparing and planning for next weekend. And I wanted to say no because my children, the youngest two, were a little under the weather this week. And I thought, that'll give them some extra time to recoup. We've got a busy week ahead of us and then moving to next weekend. And then there was the side of me that was saying yes. And most of those yeses were out of guilt. Not all of them. I was thinking, this would be a neat experience, a great bonding time. It was actually with my family. And then I was saying, it would be great for the children to see this kind of thing. And then I wanted and felt obliged to say yes because of the guilt of I'm letting these, my family down. They're going to be upset if I say no. And, then my kids, if they hear about it, are they going to be upset? But in the end, I decided to honor my gut instincts for myself and for my children. And I said no. It was difficult. It was uncomfortable, but I said no. And to follow up with that, I did observe how I was feeling and what was coming up within all of that. I felt it in full, and then I let it go. The best thing to do after all of that, remember, is to let it go so that you make room for new always. So moving on to my next challenge is what I said yes to this week. So what I'm actually saying yes to today is to step outside my comfort zone, and I am going to shop in a store that I don't normally shop for. Maybe not a big deal for some people, but for me, obviously, this is something that, is enough that I had to think about it to say yes to. So because my kids are having their party next weekend, I have to go to a different town to get all the supplies and stuff because they don't have those types of stores where I normally do get my groceries and stuff done. So that's going to leave me shopping for groceries in this other town. The reason I like to go to the same grocery store each week mostly has to do with because I know where everything is. I know which products I'm going to be able to find. I know I'm not going to be without something for the week. And I know the same people there. So if I can't find something, I know exactly who to see. And all of that kind of factors into my time management. I'm a very, very busy mom, and I work and all of that kind of stuff. So it's, for me, a grocery store trip is getting in there and out of there as fast as I can so that I can be back with my children and I'm getting stuff prepared. So it's very important to be able to step out of my comfort zone on things like this. So today I am welcoming in new experiences, new people into my life, perhaps some new products that I might find in there, because now I'm going to get distracted and have to read every label that I find. But I am stepping out of my comfort zone, and I'm seeing it from the point of view of being grateful for the opportunity and the experience and the people that are going to be coming into my life today that wouldn't normally, because I don't normally go to this grocery store. So on that note, it's probably time for me to get my butt in gear and get all this party shopping done and be on my way for the day. So just before I go, I kind of wanted to touch upon one more thing, which is that what you say yes and what you say no to is 100% completely unique to you. What one person is going to say yes to, you may not say yes to, and that's perfectly fine. It's all of that correlates with your life experiences, things that make you you, so your personality and such, and your frequency state at that exact time, because our frequency state does kind of do this kind of thing. So it's wherever you are in that moment, and then of course where you are in your journey. We are all at different points. All of them are okay and all of them are acceptable, but they are going to influence what we are saying yes and no to. So don't look for approval or opinions from other people about what you should be saying yes or no to. Look inside yourself, trust that gut. Everything you need to know is inside you. You have all the answers, and if you feel like you don't on this level, your higher self does. Ask the universe, ask yourself, your higher self, and the answers will come to you if your gut instinct is a little dusty at the moment. If you like this video, please like it, and then you can subscribe to my channel. And once you subscribe to my channel, there's the little bell notification just below there that you can click on, and that will make sure that you don't miss any of the videos and all the inspiration that I'm trying to bring to people to help them become their greatest version and live their greatest life. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I will have posted that what my name is on those things just to the side here. You'll have already seen that. And that'll be sure that you are getting the benefit of the daily posts that I do on there and helping yourself to become your greatest version. You are whole and complete as you are, but there is always room for you to continue growing on your journey. And remember, at whatever point you are in this journey, you are enough. You are worthy. You are so very worthy. And you are amazing. You are an amazing creation of God and the universe, or whatever higher being that you believe in, and you are enough. So this is Pamela with Whole and Complete You, sending you lots of love and joy and peace and kind energy. And today I'm sending a little bit of extra self-love, so that as you choose your one yes and your one no and make that change today, it is giving you the extra strength you need to follow through completely on your mission. I am wishing you a wonderful and blessed day. Much love to you. Now here is my tongue twister all about beets. So I'm saying go grab a handful of your pineal strengthening organic superfood beets. They are amazing raw, they are amazing cooked. You can grate them on your salad. You can cut them in little like julienne things or little sticks, whatever you'd like to call it, with a little bit of hummus. You can cook them, and I like to actually add a little bit of ghee for some extra gut healing abilities. It's always very important to make sure your gut is very healed and functioning at its full ability. They are also high in vitamin C, folate, magnesium. Let's see, what else can I give you about beets? They help with the longevity of your life. They actually are proven, if you consume them daily, they will expand your lifetime, your years. They are cancer preventing. They've been termed as the natural Viagra, which could be very exciting for some people in their sexual health. And they are they contribute to your brain health, and they overall they taste awesome. So why wouldn't you want to eat them and include them in your diet? And you can Google and you'll find all the other amazing benefits that beets have. See you later. Have a great day.